I'm going to do a little workshop on how to think like a coder. Who in this room has ever been coding before? Perfect, perfect. Because if you were coders already, then it wouldn't make much sense to me. This is a workshop that I usually do with kids aged 9 or 8 maybe. So if this is a struggle for you, just remember that the 8-year-old know how to do this. So I expect a lot from everybody in here. Next slide, please. And another one. There we go. So if you missed this morning, my name is Johan Wendt, and I'm a social entrepreneur. What that means is that I start organizations where I try to solve a problem in society. I don't measure my success in how much money I make. I measure my success in the social impact that I make. And I started different organizations where I tutor kids in math for free, computer coding for free, work with children with autism for free, and so on. I'm sitting in a lot of boards. For example, the Swedish Red Cross is one of them. I write books, and I'm a public speaker. The books that I write, I've written a book series called Curly Bracket. I used to have many copies with me here, but they all gone this morning, unfortunately. It's a series of graphic novels where we introduce and teach children computational thinking, which is what we're going to talk about today. I love education. I love problem solving. And the reason why I love education, one of the most beautiful things in Sweden, according to me, is that the educational system is for free. So anybody can become whatever they want. But this is in theory. In practice, this doesn't work the same way. You can look at Alexandra's family, how many books they had in the bookshelf when she grew up, and by that determine more or less her educational future. And this is the same situation in Sweden. People who have a high education, their children tend to get it also. People who don't have a high education, their kids tend to not get a high education. And this is something that I really want to change. This is what really what makes me thrive, to change this. This is the most important thing in a democracy, according to me. All right, next slide, please. All right, this girl here is the main character in my graphic novel. Her name is Curly Bracket. She's educated at problem solving. She wasn't born this way. Like she didn't become good at problem solving by playing, like watching TV and doing nothing. She really studied hard. She's curious and honest. Criticism of sources is something that is very important to her. And this is something that I believe is very important these days. So whatever I say, don't trust me. Look up the sources instead. And she has a very high integrity. Now, a quick introduction to computational thinking. Computational thinking is a problem-solving method. Basically, what we do is that you take a big problem, you break it down into several smaller problems, and you solve them one by one. And you see if there is any problems that maybe we have solved before. And then you take all the solutions and put them together in the right order, hence an algorithm, and then the big problem is solved. And once again, I do this workshop with small kids. So I'm going to try this with you guys now. Say that we're going to fly to Mars. What do we need in order to do that? A rocket. Thank you. And all right, we need a rocket. What else do we need? Fuel. Time to do that. True. All right. Let's focus on the rocket and the engine. The engine that we put the fuel in. Maybe we can see if that problem has been solved before. Maybe from the planes, maybe the jet engines from the planes work on our rocket. That could be an example of pattern recognition. How have we solved similar problems before, and can we use them again? Then we put together all the pieces of our rocket and we send it away. This is computational thinking, and it can be applied to any given problem in the world, in any field, but it's very helpful to have this skill when you want to become a coder. Monsieur, please. And this is nothing new. Solving problems is something that we have done through all ages, but something happened 60, 70 years ago. Please. There have been many historical problems. If you take the next slide, please. Many historical problems through the ages. Like when the British went to India and invaded India and colonized it, they realized that there were so many cobras there. And British people don't like cobras. So they went to the locals and they said, well, for every snake that you capture, we will give you equivalent of €1 or something. And the people of India thought, well, I'm not going to go out and catch a lethal snake for like €1. That's stupid. So what they did was that they started farms and they raised cobras and they gave them to the British people and made a shitload of money out of this. The British found out and stopped giving them money. The locals in India, they let all the snakes out again because they didn't get any money over it. And it turned out that there were more snakes in India after the British came than before. What did the British do wrong? They tried to program a human being, and that is tough. You need a very strong algorithm in order to program a human being. Sir, anybody know what this is? This is because you guys are so young. So, this is one of the first computers in the world. It's called the knitting needle computer. And it was used very much in hospitals. Basically, all the patients got a card like this. And here, you put on all the data. And for example, you see that there are little holes here? If we take the letter K, for example, the letter K could be gender. So if you're a man, they would tear it all the way down here, so they were open to the end. And if you're a woman, they would leave it like it was. And they did this on so much data. Then they piled all these patients on there, and by putting a long needle and letting go of all the papers, you have a very simple sorting algorithm of how to sort out people of specific data. And this was used in the hospital until the 60s in Sweden. I have no idea how you guys were doing it, but this is one of the first computers in the world. And also technology. Anyone want to pick a guess on what this is? Spinning Jenny, thank you. Perfect. This is Spinning Jenny, one of the first, the start of the Industrial Revolution. And this is something that really scared people when it came. Because people thought, well, machines are going to take all our jobs, we're going to be unemployed. But the result of it was actually that people, the poorest people, could buy brand new clothes a little bit cheaper than before, and it was the start of a whole new era of the world. Next slide, please. Then something happened when it came to solving problems, and that was the computer. And this was introduced to problem solving, and solving problem went faster. But we still had to think out the solution in our head. And this is where computational thinking gets into the picture. We still had to solve the problems in our head and then code it down to the computer. And we had to code it down into a script in order to make the computer understand this. All right, for this next part, I'm gonna need a volunteer. Alex, will you be my volunteer? Perfect. Right. Next slide, please. Thank you very much. So, problem is, Alex. This is Alex, by the way, my buddy. I'm thirsty, and I need your help in order to drink, all right? So give me a second. And I want you to stand somewhere here, look at the audience, and this is the exercise that I do with kids in schools in Sweden. A very simple programming exercise. All right, so Alex, I'm a robot right now. And there are some rules to the robot. The robot can't harm itself. It definitely can't pour any water on itself, okay? Because then it will break down. Except for that, you're gonna have to give instructions to the robot in order to drink. Can you do that for me?
So walk forward. Stop. Backwards. Stop. Turn around on your left. Stop. Okay. Pick up the bottle. Pick up a glass with your left hand. Get up.
Thank you.
Pour the water into the glass. Stop. Okay. Now drink it.
Thank you very much, Alex. Thank you, Gruber. You can have a seat. So, this is an extremely simple exercise on how to program a robot. What Alex did was that he gave very clear instructions on how I should do something. And this is something that you could do without any equipment. The kids love it, and it's very good starting a reintroduction to how to think like a programmer. Next slide, please. All right, so now we're gonna do another exercise. And I want everybody in here to team up 2 and 2. What we're gonna do is that one of you guys are gonna think of a number. The other person is going to guess. And the person who is thinking of a number says if it's correct, if it's incorrect, correct, higher, or lower. That's the only thing that you can say. It's between 1 and 100. Do you get it? Alexander, you and me will do a trial run, okay? Okay, so I'm thinking of a number. You're guessing.
49.
Higher.
67.
Higher.
78.
Lower.
75.
Correct. Very well done. All right, so we do this exercise, and please count how many guesses you need in order to find the correct number. Can you do that for me? All right, 2 and 2. Now we go. Here we go. How did it go? Are you guys done? All right. How many needed one guess? Fuatebina. How many needed 2 guesses? Well done. 3, 4, 5. How many needed fewer than 100 guesses? Very well done, everybody. So, this is very simplified, a binary search, and it's part of Google's small part, very simplified, a part of Google's secret algorithm. And this is something that is very easily done with kids. And you could do it with 2 kids. You could do it with 400 kids. That's the beauty in it. And there are different strategies or algorithms in order how to find the correct number the very fastest. Did anyone find a specific strategy that you found was very successful?
So always split the interval in half.
That's the thing. By splitting the interval in half, you will need maximum of 7 guesses. With 7 guesses, you will always find the correct number. Let's give this a try. If you be my beautiful assistant for a second, and you're thinking of a number, okay? And I'm guessing, and we'll see how many guesses I need. What number you're thinking of? All right. Okay. 50.
Lower.
25.
Lower.
12.
Lower.
6.
Lower.
3.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. And that is one algorithm of our strategy on how to find the correct number the fastest. And this is also very exciting to do with the students because we let them explore different ways of how to do this. And they're very creative in this exercise, monsieur. All right. I was planning on teaching you guys learn how to count binary, but I think we're gonna skip this part because basically I would need a computer up here. So we'll skip this part and we'll take the next step. All right, this is an exercise that is a sorting algorithm. It's one of the most simple ones, but it's very easy to code and it's quite easy to understand. So I need 5 volunteers on stage. Can I have 5 people volunteering on stage? Come. And you guys too. One more. If you don't raise your hand, I will pick someone. I will pick a volunteer. Juana. Oh, there we go. Come. No, you. Perfect. And actually, all right, perfect. Actually, I need one more. Can you stand over here? There. One more volunteer, please. And this is gonna be. Are you a volunteer? Yeah. Fate bene. All right. So you're gonna be my main volunteer right now, okay? So we're gonna talk a little bit about bubble sorting. If you look on the screen, we have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we want to sort these numbers in the correct order. What we do is that we compare the first pair and see which one is the biggest one. We realize, well, 5 is bigger than 1. So we move it one step. That's the first line. Second line, we compare the 5 to the 2. And we swap them. 5 to the 3, swap them. 5 to the 4, swap them. And this, madam, what's your name? Giletta. Very nice to meet you. This is what, can you guys stand a little bit closer? So this is what you're gonna do now. We wanna place these guys in height order, starting with the shortest person, ending with the tallest one. So what you're gonna do is compare the first 2. If needed, then you swap. And that's the first line of your algorithm. And you're going to continue doing that until they are in correct lines. Okay? No, we start with the first two ones. Which one? Is that okay? Perfect. Then we swap. All right, fair enough. Yeah. Then, no, you continue this way. Perfect. And we start over. Are you happy? Is she correct? Very well, thank you. Please take your seats. So this is, can you guys sit in front? Alex, can you guys sit in front? Because I want you to be volunteers again. You're a very good volunteer. Just grab any seat. And once again, this is a sorting algorithm, very useful. Sorry, not very useful in practice because it's not a very smart algorithm, but it's easy to use it when you're introducing coding to kids and also the possibility to do it in the classroom without using a computer. So, what I did is that I've written a series of books with curly bracket, where Curly is the main character. And I've talked to some people here, and the possibility is that it's going to be translated into Romanian if we are successful. And if you look at the red-headed girl there in the back, Juana, give a wave. If you're interested in the book in the future, you should hunt her down and ask her for it. So basically, Curly Bracket is 13 years old. She lives in a futuristic world where all decisions in society is taken by the huge company Corporatus. Corporatus owns everything and decides everything. And this is something that people have accepted. When Curly is 13 years old, she does an exam, like all other kids, the final exam, that decides if she's gonna be one of the elite coders under Corporatus company, or if she's gonna work in the mines. And Curly has always been very interested in computational thinking. She's been learning and studying so much. She's really skilled at this. But she starts to question if this is the right world order where a company takes all her decision. And through her adventure, she runs into a multiple of problems that she solves using computational thinking. Next slide, please. And another one, and another one, and another one. There we go. So it's a graphic novel where we follow Curly on her adventure. And if you go forward one more time, here we see one of the problems that Curly is facing. I don't know if you can see this, but she got a monster, a rabbit, and a carrot that she has to take across a lake. No, back. That's the answer to this problem. And she can take only one item at a time. But if she leaves the monster and the rabbit alone, the monster is gonna eat the rabbit. If she leaves the rabbit alone with the carrot, the rabbit gonna eat the carrot. The carrot won't eat the monster, so that is okay. She can only take one item at a time. And there is an algorithm for how to solve this. Can I have, once again, 3 volunteers? Alex is one of them. Monsieur, would you be another volunteer? Thank you very much. Let's give them an applause. It's a big thing to get on stage. All right, sir, you will be the carrot.
Okay. I look like
Madam, you're the monster. And you, monsieur, you're the rabbit, okay? All right, and you guys stand over there by the podium. Can anybody want to try to give out the solution to this problem? Anyone heard it before? All right, anyone who haven't heard it before, do you guys wanna give it a try? I'm gonna point someone out if you don't volunteer, seriously. All right, perfect, I saw your smile. Oh, sorry. Oh, can I squeeze in? All right, let's do this together. So we have a monster in the middle, we have a carrot, and we have a rabbit. What should we take first?
So the rabbit will eat the carrot.
Rabbit will eat
the carrot.
Yeah.
And the monster will eat the rabbit if they are
Alone.
left alone.
Yeah. That's very tragic.
Yes, it is. So basically, I should first take the rabbit.
All right, perfect.
And then...
So can we tell the rabbit to go over there?
Yes, rabbit, go over there.
All right.
But the same thing will happen on the other side.
Yeah. How are we gonna solve that?
I don't know.
Maybe.
We'll
All right.
drown the rabbit.
This is a good thing about being a team.
Yeah.
We have 2 brains now. So my
Yeah.
suggestion, I think you started very well. What if we bring the monster over there and bring the rabbit back with us?
Yes, but he will eat the...
Not when you and me, we are in the boat. And we are tough guys.
Okay.
So, okay, monster, can you go over there? Yeah. And we'll take the rabbit back. All right, perfect. So now we are still on the left side, and we're not gonna leave, we can't leave them alone. So we have to take the carrot. Yeah, smart.
Yes, we have to take the carrot back and leave it there.
Yeah, and we're good, right? Because the
yes.
carrot won't eat the monster.
And the other
Yeah.
way around, because monsters don't eat carrots.
No, they don't. They don't
No.
like them.
And then we take back the rabbit and...
Yeah. All right, perfect. Thank you. Very good teamwork. This is one of the... Thank you, sir. One of the problems, if we take the next slide. This is one of the problems that we have in the curly bracket book. And basically, same method that we used this is computational thinking that we're using here. We break it down to smaller steps, we solve them, create an algorithm, put it together, and we have the final solution. This is how we try to introduce this to kids. And many of these problems are problems that I was told at the kitchen table by my parents, like something that went around the world in the 70s or 80s, but they're still relevant because they still challenge us. And we try to bring them back to the kids today by introducing computational thinking and breaking down the problems and pattern recognition and creating algorithms. And good people, this is my workshop. This is what I wanted to tell you. And I want to say thank you very much for coming and listening to me. And if anyone has any questions, you're more than welcome to pop them. I think we have time for that. Yes, we do, by far. All right, thank you very much.